As the moonlight fades and the whispers grow silent, welcome to another eerie journey. If you're ready for chills and thrills, consider subscribing and giving this video a thumbs up right from the start. Share your thoughts in the comments below. What mysteries keep you awake at night? Get ready to explore more chilling stories as we dive into the unknown. Stay curious, stay spooky, and let's unravel the darkness together. I buy foreclosed houses, renovate them, and flip them for a living. The house I bought recently was perfect. The last owner was sick and couldn't keep up with payments. Sad situation. But it meant the floorboards didn't rot and the windows didn't get smashed. I would thank him, but I'm sure he wouldn't be happy to see my face. The realtor the bank hired rushed every visit, tapping his board, staring at the clock, refusing to stay long. I tried asking the man what the catch was, but he only said it was the hostility of the folks around here and warned me not to go out into the fields. It seemed like a cheap excuse, but as they say, don't look a gifted horse in the mouth. In the morning, the early spring weather was cold and cloudy. By the time I neared the town, a soft drizzle began falling out of the sky. The town was sleepy and quiet, except for two men in camouflage with rifles on their shoulders. They both stopped as my car passed, their gaze piercing right through me. As I neared my house, I saw boar carcasses hanging on ropes at the side of the road. The lives people led here made my stomach turn. I picked up my bags and ran into the place with a jacket over my head. The smell of an old person's house hit me the moment I stepped in. I unpacked. The map of the property was deep inside my bags. The rain had stopped by then. I walked out to check the property lines. The property was large. Trees lined most of its borders, giving way to forest on three sides. On the right was a large, dug-up field. My feet stepped into wet mud as I made my way towards it. The ground turned muddier with each step. On the field were a few trees and bushes with more boar carcasses hanging from them. Hey, a deep, raspy voice echoed from one of the bushes. I stood frozen in the mud. A man in a camouflage jacket carrying a rifle limped out, his clothes and shoes muddy. "Can't you read?" he yelled, pointing at a tree that had a metal sign nailed into it. I shrugged my shoulders, just checking my property line. "Your property?" The man grunted and paused, staring me up and down. "That house wasn't yours to buy. It was foreclosed." He was sick. He lost the house. The man's eyes blazed. He pulled his sleeves up and walked toward me. A shiver ran down my spine, but another voice came from behind the bush. "John, let him be." The man stopped, spat on the ground, and limped back towards the trees. I stared at the bush long after they disappeared into it, my feet deep in the mud. The realtor said the folks weren't welcoming, but this? I spent the rest of the day examining the furniture. The pieces were mostly old, worthless. Throwing them out might get rid of the smell. More renovations were needed to rid this place of the loneliness it reeked of. A knock echoed through the house. I peeked out the window. A wave of coldness washed over me. A man in a camouflage jacket stood at my door. Was it the same hunter again? The clock on the wall ticked. The man knocked again and again. I took a deep breath and walked to the door. Outside was a man with a long, unkempt beard, a hunting rifle, and holes in his jacket. "You need to leave. What they planned is not right." Pressure built up in my chest. "What are you talking about?" The man blinked twice. "They'll run you like the others." "You won't scare me away," I said and shut the door in his face. My hands began shivering. The hunter's words echoed in my head, but the opportunity was too perfect. I brought my own sheets, but they couldn't fully mask the stale smell of the old pillows and blankets. I breathed through my mouth as my mind drifted off to sleep. The moon was still bright in the sky when I woke up to a noise. Was it just a dream? I looked around, listening, but nothing. Then I heard it again, a crunchy, crackling sound. Like footsteps, but uneven. My heart dropped to my stomach. The driveway gravel. Was the man outside? I bolted to the window. But there was nothing, just the empty dark. I listened again, but nothing, only the breeze blew by. I mustn't have been fully awake, I told myself, and went back to bed. The next morning, clouds already filled the sky. You could barely notice the difference between day and night. The wooden floor felt cold under my feet. I walked down the stairs and put on a tea kettle. The water bubbled as the knocking echoed through the house again. My vision pulsed with anger. They won't get off easy this time. The door flew open as I gripped the handle. Outside stood the man from yesterday, smiling. His rifle's butt was pointed at my face. For a second, we just stared at each other. I tried to close the door, but his foot stopped it. Before I could turn, the dull pain trembled through my head, a cold, wet texture. My head rang. A gust of wind. Rough rope fibers dug into my wrists. My vision darted around, slowly focusing. Panic surged through me. The man with a rifle stood over me. I was in the field. Further away stood other men in camo, rifles ready. Among them was the man who came to warn me with dry tears on his face. The man standing over me kicked my ribs. The pain throbbed through my body. I got to all fours, grunting. "Run," he said. What? Run, he screamed out. The men cocked their rifles. Behind them, nailed to the tree, something metal hung. The sign. Rusted. I squinted through the mud in my eyes. "Hunting season wild boar," I ran. I don't remember most of it. Only the laughing and echoes of rifles. I woke up in a hospital 2 counties away. Hypothermia, blood loss, broken ribs. They said a truck driver found me crawling on the side of the road. The police went to the property. They said there were no ropes, no carcasses, no hunters. Just an old, empty, foreclosed house. The banker listed it last week. Someone else will buy it. And the hunting season will start over again.